Right now, biotechnology companies are actually willing to pay up to $443,000 for a very specific type of scientific leader.
Which is just a staggering number when you think about it.
It really is. And today, we are opening up the first half of the 2026 DMPK Talent Market Report to find out exactly why that is. Because if you want a crystal ball for the future of medicine, you don't just look at the clinical trials, you look at where the hiring money is actually flowing.
Yeah, and that money is flowing with, some really intense, highly concentrated momentum right now.
Like, it's not just a general hiring boom.
No, not at all. This isn't some broad, industry-wide hiring spree. Biotechnology companies are aggressively driving this entire space. They account for 82.5% of all the hiring activity in the report.
Wow, over 80%.
Right, and they are pointing the vast majority of those resources toward one dominant therapeutic focus, which is oncology.
Okay, so that massive push from biotech, that completely dictates the level of talent they are targeting. They aren't just looking to fill out rows of entry-level bench scientists anymore, right?
Precisely. They're operating at a much, much higher level of risk now. Over half of all the open roles in this report are at the associate director level or higher.
Wait, really? Over half are leadership?
Yeah, over half. Biotechs are hiring strategic leaders, and that $443,000 compensation ceiling for executives, well, that just reflects the reality of the business.
Because they're basically buying risk insurance, right?
Exactly. A DMPK expert can predict if a drug will fail in phase 2 due to, toxicity or maybe poor absorption. These companies aren't just paying for scientists, they're buying multi-million-dollar risk insurance for their clinical portfolios.
Because catching a failure early saves a company years of wasted time and capital.
Thousands of hours and millions of dollars, yeah.
So they aren't just playing a single instrument in the back of the lab anymore. I like to think of these modern DMPK professionals as like the orchestra conductors of drug development.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, because they have to take all these isolated streams of complex experimental data like, toxicity reports, absorption rates, half-life metrics, and harmonize all of it to actually decide which molecules are cleared to move forward into human trials.
Right, and to be that kind of conductor, your technical toolkit has to be wider and, more adaptable than ever before.
What does the data show on that?
So the report shows that 100% of the reviewed roles demand pharmacokinetics expertise tightly coupled with cross-functional collaboration. You simply cannot operate in a silo anymore.
Makes sense.
And on top of that, while small molecules still dominate at 67.5% of the roles, these leaders must pivot seamlessly to biologics, which make up 40%. And they also have to integrate emerging AI-enabled workflows, which sit at 17.5%.
Wait, hang on. I'm looking at this digital adoption rate, and something isn't really adding up for me.
What do you mean?
Well, if the discipline is becoming this strategic, right, relying heavily on massive data sets, and 17.5% of workflows are already moving to AI, why does the data show that 57.1% of these roles are strictly on-site?
Yeah, that is the big question.
Because look at almost every other quantitative tech sector. They've practically all gone completely remote. Why hasn't this field followed suit?
It's a fascinating paradox, honestly, but it really comes down to the underlying mechanics of the science itself.
The actual lab work.
Exactly. Despite the digital evolution, this field fundamentally relies on tangible physical laboratory work. We're talking about complex ADME studies, essentially tracking the exact real-world journey of how the human body absorbs, breaks down, and flushes out a drug.
Right, and you can only simulate so much of that.
Right. You can model it on a computer, but eventually you have to validate it physically.
So we are seeing a field where you might use cutting-edge AI to help design or predict the molecule, but you still need a human in a physical lab coat holding a pipette to prove it actually works in biological tissue.
Exactly. That real-world validation requires in-person, cross-functional collaboration that just simply cannot be digitized or, outsourced to a remote server yet. The wet lab is still the proving ground.
That is so interesting. Look, if you are running workforce planning right now or evaluating your team's organizational design, this report is a massive flashing indicator that you need to rethink your compensation and remote work strategies.
Absolutely.
And this incredibly valuable market intelligence comes directly from Hughes Associates. If you need to navigate this landscape, you should definitely connect with them for a confidential discussion. Or just visit holocene.com to see exactly what they are tracking.
They definitely have the clearest view of where the translational sciences talent landscape is shifting right now.
Yeah, they really do. But before we wrap up this deep dive, there's one final thought I want you to mull over. We just saw that AI and automated digital workflows are sitting at a 17.5% adoption rate.
Which is only going to grow.
Right. So as those digital technologies inevitably expand and get smarter, will that strict on-site laboratory requirement eventually vanish into the cloud? Or will the physical, tangible lab forever remain the unchangeable heartbeat of drug discovery?